whether you're a fighter pilot or an options trader, the number one mission objective is not, first of all, not to lose money and to get home, right? My wife would tell everybody he loves himself too much to get killed. There's a little bit of truth in that, but you don't want to fail, right? So whether you're a fighter pilot or an options trader, it's all about managing risk. This might sound like a master of the obvious statement, but you can't make money if you're losing money, right? So when before we're going to do any sort of mission or anything like that, we definitely want to minimize all known risks. So let me go ahead and throw up my presentation here. Again, good morning. Love Fausto. Love the stuff he's doing. We kind of have a Reese's peanut butter cup because Fausto came and briefed my squadron, and a bunch of our TGO folks went over there and checking out what you all do, which is just fantastic. I'm on the options side of the house, so Fausto and I are providing each other some good mutual support. Standard disclaimer: Fausto does the same thing. Not a registered investment advisor, broker dealer, any of those fancy words. Make sure you talk to somebody before you ever invest any real capital and put it at risk. Trading involves risk, folks, and if you didn't know that, you probably shouldn't be doing it. So, standard disclaimer. We're going to talk about trading the Death Star. Right now, Fausto and I are probably similar age. We grew up watching Star Wars, and now I got some Star Wars nerds running around the house. If you don't know what the Death Star is, it's obviously that big space station, right? That was taking over the universe. So the Death Star, folks, is the stock that we're going to talk about today, and I guarantee you, Uncle Whiz guarantee that you've never heard what I'm about to tell you. So remember, Death Star, big space station, destroyed, took over the universe, everything it touched got blown up, rebuilt. That's the stock we're going to talk about today. Now, Fausto told you, I used to fly fighter jets for the Navy. So let's start with a little bit of an aviation theme, if you don't mind. I'm going to get multiple choice test. You ready? Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? And you don't have to know anything about flying a fighter aircraft to take this quiz. So here we go. Take a look at that cockpit. Ladies and gentlemen, that's an F4 Phantom. That's a big hulking fighter, man. Look at that cockpit. Over 300 switches and dials in that cockpit. Pilot would spend a lot of what we call heads down time looking at all this stuff instead of eyeballs out of the cockpit looking for enemy MiGs or surface air missiles, SAMs, or AAA, anti-aircraft artillery. Very labor-intensive aircraft. That's so labor-intensive, they threw another dude in the back seat just to run the radar. Very labor intensive. So you got that choice. You're going in the combat, and we're going to talk about combat and how the world's going pretty crazy right now and how it's going to impact the market. So you got that choice or that one. Two flat panel displays. This is the cockpit of the F-35 Lightning, the Joint Strike Fighter, our newest fighter aircraft. This jet is creepy, folks. And what do I mean by that? It's the Wonder Woman jet. It's invisible to radar, and it's learning, and it actually limits the amount of information displayed to the pilot at any given time. Why? The pilot doesn't need to know this right now. I'll just keep this to myself. They only display mission critical aircraft. Speaking of Star Wars and Darth Vader, the helmet, everything is projected on the pilot's visor, right? You kind of look like Darth Vader. Enemy aircraft and surface air missiles, engagement zones have a bubble around it. So don't fly into the bubble. So obviously, in combat, you want to fly the F-35 Lightning. And you're going to learn today that trading is a form of combat. Somebody's going to lose and somebody's going to win. Why wouldn't you use the same risk management methodologies, discipline that I used in the cockpit over the skies of Fallon, Nevada at Top Gun and over the skies of Iraq? So by the end of our brief today, it's a brief. It's not a long, right? It's a brief. I'm going to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief. We had one of our ships last night had to shoot their Whiz, close inboard weapon system. It's a big looking R2D2 with a Gatling gun. One of these Houthi missiles got so close to one of our ships, that's within a mile, folks, that this massive Gatling gun had to go off and hit that missile. It is only a matter of time until one of our ships gets hit. And if you remember the USS Cole, our ships are made of like aluminum foil, folks. They burn and they're full of critical stuff. We lose a United States ship, man, it's going to get bad. The market only cares when it cares. So right now, the market's kind of whistling past this graveyard. 3 Atlanta Reserve, Army Reserve soldiers got killed the other day after 160 attacks on U.S. forces in the region. Something's going to happen, folks. And if you look at the VIX today, the volatility index, nothing's going on. Nothing bad can happen. That's wrong. I'm going to show you the only stock you need to own. And maybe if you don't like this stock or you need to do something that I'm going to tell you don't need to do, a good substitute to trade. Real quick, though, why should you listen to me? Here's we just finished up 2023. Here's how the smart money is doing. This is the Barclay Hedge Fund Index. About, 1,100, 1,200 hedge funds that they randomly surveyed, 9.29%. So don't think that you're missing anything by not. I go to a cocktail party and they talk about being in a hedge fund. I got to be honest with you, folks. That's the smart money. This is my personal brokerage account. And look at this. As the market, as we went into the fourth quarter of last year, look at the S&P 500. Salute and staying volatility, up, down, and then a rip your face off Santa Claus rally. This is my personal screenshot from my E-Trade account. 151% return last year. And look, starting in September, as I just showed you, the S&P all over the place, the volatility. Look at what I did. Look at the NASDAQ, 38%. Wow, that's awesome. Not really. Look at the S&P, 20%. Look at the Dow. I don't know what's in the Dow anymore. It's old people. 151% return last year, folks, as the market imploded. That's how you can outperform by potentially trading options along with the stock trading you're doing with Fausto. Real quick, a little bit about me. I flew the Hornet for the Navy, went to Top Gun. I was an adversary pilot, so I was a bad guy. Because our good guys have to learn to fly against bad guys before they go against real bad guys. So I did that, deployed for Operation Southern Watch, Noble Eagle, and Enduring Freedom. What's this have to do with trading? Everything. As a young ensign, now I'm going to really age myself. In 1991, I was commissioned in the Navy, Naval Air Station Key West. You don't join the Navy to get rich, folks. You join the Navy, see the world, and to serve your country. I remember sending my first check to the U.S. It was like 25, 50, whatever, $50 or $25. A lot of money for an ensign in 1991 to the USAA Aggressive Growth Mutual Fund because I knew I wanted to make some money and retire rich, and the military retirement wasn't cutting it. So I started applying everything I was learning as a fighter pilot, being disciplined, having a strategy, having tactics that support that strategy, managing risk. Like we talked about, whether it's an options trader or a fighter pilot, man, you can't win if you're losing. I applied all that to my trading, and it worked incredibly well. Everybody should know what that building is. That's the CBOT, the Chicago Board of Trade. So I was doing so well that I popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms in the world, headquartered right there in the CBOT. And those big, beautiful windows right here. You see all those big windows. That was our trading firm. That's the trading floor. I helped build a hedge fund when I was there. I helped build a retail brokerage called Options House. Some of you maybe have traded through there. And I was also the managing director of strategy for this multi-billion-dollar vol arb firm. And I was the founder and CEO of the Options News Network. Before John and Pete Najarian left CNBC, they pay lip service, right? Fox Business, CNBC, they're all stock. I started the Options News Network, and I'd shoot from the floor of the CBO and the CBOT and give you all, retail traders, a behind-the-scenes look at what was going on in the options market. No offense to anybody from Chicago, you can keep it. I'm a Navy guy. I need a beach and warmth. About 2010, me and my beautiful bride, we left Chicago and came down here, and I started Top Gun Options. I laugh, I jokingly tell people I'm Eddie Murphy from Trading Places. Little old retail trader, went and hung out with the smart money, and you know what I realized? They ain't that smart. They put their pants on one leg. We do. Fausto alluded to the COVID crash, right? Filthy money made during the COVID crash. It was obscene. Do you remember all the long only guys? Bill Ackman and who's the other guy? It just went out of my head. Oh, we need to shut the market down. Things are crazy. Stop. No, dude. I'm on the other side of your trade. Do you remember President Trump? Love him or hate him. Remember that famous tweet? Stocks are looking good here. I'd be a buyer of stocks. The next day, the Dow was down 3,000 points. We made about $2.5 million trading in about 3 weeks. So I wrote a book about it, the COVID crash. Also have a podcast. It's called the Max Afterburner Podcast. It's in the top 2.5 podcasts in the world. What do I talk about? The most passionate thing besides teaching people how to trade is this. I took that obscene amount of money in 2020 and I started a foundation. It's called the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. And I'm going to blow you away right now. We give healing grants to veterans, first responders, and their families, because their families serve too, to go do psychedelic assisted therapy. Now, in addition to the stock we're going to talk about today, I'm going to give you a couple stock tips at the end, or I'll give it to you right now. Buy the public psychedelic companies with both hands. Compass, CMPS, Atai, ATAI, and MindMed, MNMD. You will thank me later. Look at the chart of all those three of those names recently. When, not if, halfway through this year, the FDA reschedules MDMA for therapeutic use, these names will explode. Period. So real quick, if you've ever seen the movie or if you read the book, Lone Survivor, or seen the movie, Lone Survivor with Mark Wahlberg, I went 4 years ago, this coming May, to Mexico with some Navy SEALs and an NFL player suffering from horrific head trauma. I sat with psychedelic assisted therapy, saved and changed my life. Came home, started this foundation. So what's this have to do with trading? That's me and my family before we left Chicago to come down here to South Florida. Here we go. Now, sit up straight. If you've been mentally clubbing in the Bahamas for the past 15 minutes, let's get airborne. This is going to be, I don't think this is going to shock you, but it might shock you. So let me just do this. You ready? Wall Street is lying to you. Now, half of you probably just rolled your eyes like, duh. And the other half of you are saying, what are they lying to me about? You ready for this? How many of you, since day one of investing, have heard this? You cannot put all your eggs in one basket, right? You can't. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket. You have to, say it with me, diversify. Diversification is important. The 5 tips to diversify, you diversify, diversify, diversify. It's a lie. It's an absolute lie. Who's lying to you? That guy. Whenever you use the word broker, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's stock, yacht, real estate, you can delete the word broker and insert the word commission. Ladies and gentlemen, these firms, these brokers, get paid on you being in and out of as many names as humanly possible. You ever watch a movie called Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street, Boiler Room? All right, boys, grab the phones. Little old lady in tennis shoes. Get her out of the stock we got her into yesterday. Get her into this one. It's actually an illegal practice, but it's called churn. Ladies and gentlemen, they make money off of commissions and you being in and out of as many names as humanly possible. Before you even type in the chat box, well, joke's on you, Whiz. I trade with Robinhood, or, I don't pay a commission. Let me give you a little bit of a life lesson right now. If you're not paying anything, you're not the customer. As Fausto knows this, it's called payment for order flow. Guess who is the customer at Robinhood? Not you. It's Ken Griffin at Citadel, and it's Steve Cohen at Point72 or SAC Capital. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing poker and you don't know who the idiot is at the poker table, it's you. So don't give me this, I don't pay a brokerage, I don't pay commissions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hit you up with something, and I'm a fighter pilot, folks. It's clear, concise, calm, no beating around the bush. Diversification is for stupid people. Now, if that offends you, I'll grab an old man to make it sound nicer. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. I want that to sink in. I said it a little bit more clear and concise, but there's Warren Buffett. Ladies and gentlemen, the only name you need to own for the rest of your life is Amazon. After market close today, Amazon is going to report earnings and we're going to talk about it. But let me make my case. I'm a political science major from South Jersey, folks. So let's just take a look. This kind of looks like a hockey stick. It's going absolutely straight up, ladies and gentlemen. It is insane. If you looked at this company back here in 2014 and could be in a time machine and go out into the future, you'd be like, oh my God, man, I've got to buy this name. So look at the math. That is net revenue in billions of dollars. Anybody see a trend? Clear. You ready? Next one. Look at annual revenue by segment. I remember years ago, look at this. AWS, ladies and gentlemen, is Microsoft. Amazon Web Services is its own Microsoft. It didn't even exist. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, and Jeff Bezos came up with AWS in like his condo. Like, you know what? We should do this. Look at the annual revenue by segment. I need to update this chart because AWS is massive and it is up there, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. Annual revenue by segment. Now, when you think cloud or stuff, what do most people think? Apple owns the cloud or Microsoft. And you'd be wrong. Look at this. Look at the percentage of market share among the big tech names: Amazon, Microsoft, Google, the others. Folks, Amazon, again, is the Death Star. It takes over everything it touches, and it's only growing its market share. Now, I don't want to get too political, but you ready for this? Democrats hate this chart. Why? Let's go through this. And second of all, if you asked me, delete the word Amazon from the slide and say, Whiz, would you be bullish on this stock? Let's go through it. You ready? Sales. Wow. Look at, and folks, delete the word Amazon. Revenue versus profit versus free cash flow. Okay. Let's dig in. Sales. Wow. Holy crap. Look at the sales of this company. Then what do I look at? Free cash flow. Okay. I mean, that's kind of a big delta between sales and their free cash flow. All right. I still like it. Profit. Oh my God. This company barely makes any profit. I'm going to short this name. And I'd be an idiot and I'd be broke. Why? Jeff Bezos, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I say Democrats hate it. Because Jeff Bezos doesn't even know what the word dividend means. He scoffs at it. Jeff Bezos, when he started this company and to today, says what? I don't want to make a dime. Any profit, if I make $1 this quarter, I'm buying a competitor. I'm putting a competitor out of business. I'm buying another airplane. I'm buying another show on Amazon Prime. They show barely any profit, folks. So again, this is why people are like, we need to tax Amazon into the dirt and it's filthy rich. And Jeff Bezos kind of laughs and goes, yes, about that. We don't make money. They take the money and they reinvest it. If you understand stocks and investing, that's what you love. Want a dividend? I don't need a dividend. I'd rather you put the money back into the company and explode. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a bullish chart, not bearish. But old me, right? If I was day one of investing, I'd be like, wow, this company really doesn't make any profit, and I'd be an idiot. So let's talk about this. What's this? Oh, these are my solo Amazon members. These are recent screenshots, folks. With a small account, trading Whiz's Amazon trades netted $8,900 in a week. Kristen, you guys are amazing. I trade a smaller account, and I've done 22 Amazon trades this year for 31 grand. This was taken last month, so she's talking about all of 23. Obviously, month to date, profits on Amazon 107 grand, with more to go. Thanks, Whiz, for your expertise and guidance doing day trades and short calls to protect my profits. And then Anne recently made me look like an idiot. And in 3 days, I made 90 grand on short calls against my 30 contracts. I will explain this to you utilizing Whiz's guidance. Now, before I do sunshine, lollipops, unicorns, everything is great with Amazon. I'm a fighter pilot. I'm an options trader. We have to talk about potential risks. Before we get airborne on any mission or any trade, what are the risks of just trading Amazon or one name? Anybody ever hear of a small mom and pop company called Lehman Brothers? A 150-year-old company gone in about 24 to 48 hours. What about Bear Stearns? You all know Bear Stearns, right? Jim Cramer. He looked like Khrushchev at the UN, a bald guy yelling, smashing his shoe on the table. You're an idiot if you're not in Bear Stearns. It's safe. Your money's safe there. It's $70. 2 days later, it was at zero. Who called Jim? So Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns. Anybody remember pets.com or Enron? We could spend the next 35 minutes going through the graveyard of stocks that have gone to zero. Stocks, I know you know this, but let's just be blindingly clear. Stocks can go to zero. So that's a risk if you just put all your eggs in one basket. But what is the common theme, ladies and gentlemen, between all these names? They didn't own a thing. Pets.com owned a stinky sock and a URL. Enron didn't even own the building they were in. They were a middleman of electricity. I don't even know how that worked. Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, financial company. They owned paper, contracts, counterparties. Well, I'm going to pull my money out of Bear Stearns. I don't think they have the liquidity. Why didn't you tell me? I'm doing that too. Run on the bank, they disappear. It looks like Lehman Brothers didn't even own the sign on the building. So, ladies and gentlemen, stocks can go to zero. Can Amazon go to zero? No. I mean, yes. Physically possible for the stock price to go to zero? Physically possible, yes. In practicality, it's impossible. Why? Amazon owns things. We're not a middleman of electricity or a stinky sock puppet. I did consulting for an Amazon fulfillment center south of Miami International. I've been on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier, folks. That looked tame in comparison to this Amazon. It was the size of an aircraft carrier, humans, robots. It was hysteria. It was organized chaos. So they own things. They own real estate. Now I'm going to full disclosure here. Guess what? I flew for FedEx for 10 months. Miserable. Showing up to Memphis at midnight and flying at 8 in the morning and trying to sleep during the day. I left. But let me just tell you, I stayed good friends with guys that were in my class. One of the guys went to management. He got out of the cockpit. I'm going to put a suit on. He called me how long ago was this? However many years ago. I forget. Hey, dude, you trade, right? Yeah. Jeff Bezos, what's he? I'm like, he owns Amazon. Why? What's up? He's like, really? That's weird. A buddy of mine at GE Aircraft Leasing just called me and said Jeff Bezos wants to leave 5 airplanes. And you know what I said? I said, he's going to do it. And my buddy's like, what do you mean? What's he going to do? I'm like, he's going to put you out of business. Oh, you're an idiot. Guess who's laughing now? Amazon, look at the dates on these. Amazon is now shipping cargo for outside customers in its latest move to compete with FedEx and UPS. Next headline. Amazon is poised to pass UPS and FedEx to become the largest delivery in 2022. Next one. The biggest delivery business in the U.S. is no longer UPS or FedEx. Boom. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You ever watch the Men Who Made America or whatever it's called? That who is it? Carnegie? Who's the guy that one of them? He's standing there looking at his oil well. Oh yeah, look at the oil going out. Wait a minute, that oil that I'm making money on is going into a truck. That truck is going over to that railroad. That railroad moves on railroads. He's like, I'm buying the trucking company and I'm buying the train. That's what Jeff Bezos did. He's taking over everything. Years ago, I told my TGO members, you want some stocks to short? CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. Why? There is not going to be a need for any of these pharmacies. I predicted years ago, I said, you're going to get a text or the doorbell's going to ring. Go open your door, you're going to get, your face is going to get scanned by a drone and your prescriptions are going to drop in your hand. Or you're going to go out to a blue truck with a pin that they texted you, enter it on the side, and the truck's going to shoot, give you your package out of the side. A truck, by the way, that's electric. That doesn't have a driver who has to go to the bathroom, complains, and wants to unionize. Ladies and gentlemen, it is insane what is going on. Oh, and by the way, here's another risk. Now, if this picture made you cringe, let's just everybody relax and let's talk through it. Why do I have this guy on the screen? Because of political risk. I remember Donald Trump waking up one day or not going to bed, depends on who you believe, and grabbing his phone and tweeting in year one of his presidency, Amazon's a monopoly. Somebody should break it up. Somebody should do something. Jeff Bezos, bad. Amazon, bad. What happened? Stock went down a little bit like, oh my God, the president of the United States says we're a monopoly and he wants to come after us. Then what happened for 3 years? Nothing until the end of his presidency. A cell phone, we did again. It's even worse now. Bigger monopoly. Somebody should break it up. And the Washington Post sucks. Then what happened? Nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is political risk with Amazon. I can ripple through a ton of headlines: Department of Justice, Federal Trade Commission, antitrust. So recently, they have opened an antitrust investigation into Amazon, right? Um, but the last time I checked, depending on the stock price and stuff like that, Jeff Bezos is the richest man, one of them, in the world, who probably has an attorney or two on staff. I'm old enough to remember Standard Oil, Microsoft, IBM, AT&T. When Uncle Sam says, you know what, you might be a monopoly. We're gonna look into you. You ready for this? 5, 10, I think the longest case was 15 years. It doesn't happen pretty damn quick. And it's too late for Amazon, ladies and gentlemen. I like to say Amazon at this point is Mercury. You smash up Mercury, you make a bunch of little Mercury. If they tried to break up Amazon right now, folks, you'd make 12 little monopolies. Amazon Prime, the entertainment division, makes Netflix look stupid. Amazon Air is bigger than FedEx and UPS right now, folks. Amazon Pharma. I'm not going to sit here and ripple through all their business divisions, folks. I told you it's the Death Star. Everything they go into and touch explodes. I'm not what happened recently too? CVS, Walgreens, and some cities, everything's locked up behind glass because people just walk in and steal it, right? Lululemon, before Christmas, people walked into Lululemon in Atlanta and just kind of cleaned them out. And Lululemon, being the limousine liberal company that it is, fired the employees for trying to not let that happen. Why am I bringing this up? James Woods. Just so everybody understands the game here, Lulu and these other national brand stores don't care about theft because the crap's actually virtually worthless and they would rather sell it online. No fuss, no muss, no employees. When you see stores locking everything up behind glass and forcing customers to select from a kiosk, it's a way to blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm getting at. Invest in Amazon, folks. Pretty soon it'll be your only marketplace left. He has a great point. I told you, or my TGO members years ago, I said, get bearish on CVS, Rite Aid, and one of them went out of business recently, or bankruptcy, or whatever it is. So I'm bipolar, ladies and gentlemen, and so am I. What do I mean by this? I'll tell you how I feel as Whiz. If you join our solo Amazon service, I can't stand Jeff Bezos. Did you see what happened this week? My wife almost jumped through the TV the other night. We went to watch a video on Amazon. $2.99. You have to pay $2.99 now to upgrade, or you're going to have to watch ads. It was $2.99, right, folks? I'm like, it's not even the price of a all caramel macchiato at Starbucks. It's the principle, my wife said. So this week, Amazon they're raising prices on their Prime members if you don't want to watch ads. Why am I talking about this? Because I'll tell you how I feel as Whiz. What a disgrace. Jeff Bezos on his 580-foot yacht needs a $2.99 from you now. So unless you don't want to watch ads, I can't stand Amazon. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. Guess what? Hey, Whiz, if you want a friend, get a dog. I'm here to make money. Right? I love Gordon Gekko in the movie Wall Street. When I look at Amazon as Gordon Gekko, good. Yeah. You don't want to pay the extra $2.99, Whiz? Go. Oh, we're not going to miss you. I mean, I love everything Amazon does. There was a Wall Street Journal investigation like a year or two ago. Amazon puts small people out of business. You sell something on Amazon that you made. You kind of created this awesome widget. What's Amazon do? Yeah, we need to see how that widget's made and where you get your products. Why? It's kind of my thing. It's secret because it could be counterfeit and like stealing or something. Okay, here's everything, and here's how I do it. Mysteriously, a month later, they have that product up there, and it's cheaper than yours. Whiz, I think that's gross. It's illegal. It's unethical. It's a horror. Gordon Gecko is love it. Oh, now that we talked about the risks of trading just one name, Amazon, let's talk about the good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just trade Amazon, you're in that name and you're going to, I'll show you with options how you can potentially profit no matter what direction Amazon goes, up, down, or sideways, right? As an options trader, market's going up, down, or sideways, I can profit. I got a tactic for every one of those market conditions. If you just trade stock, it's the buy, hope, and pray. Buy the stock, hope it goes up, and if it doesn't, pray. You stay focused on the news and events that impact Amazon instead of a bunch of different stocks, man, or ETFs. You become an expert in Amazon, reducing time spent on other positions. I had a buddy, Fausto probably knows people like this. I had a buddy who was an Apple market maker. He doesn't even know a stock market exists. He eat, breathes, and sleeps Apple. What the hell's the VIX, the volatility index, Whiz? I don't even know what that is. It's all Apple all the time. So you reduce time doing all sorts of other stuff. I got to be honest with you, folks. I do this for a living. I got 3 to 5 names. Our research desk on that trading floor in Chicago, folks, our analyst, I think we had like 25 analysts. They had to know, I think 3 names it was, like the back of their hand. Eat, breathe, sleep, those 3 names. You're the expert. Do you know how many times I walked across our trading floor to talk to one of the analysts? Like, dude, did you see this? Did you not? Oh, yeah. So, folks, there are people who just trade a single name and they can miss stuff. So, how, as a retail trader, even if you're sitting here for 8 hours a day staring at the screen, can you become an expert in 10 names? Let me give you a quick story. When I moved down from Chicago to Boca, God's Waiting Room, Boca Raton, there was an orthopedic surgeon. He's my best friend now. But at the time, he's like, hey, I heard you're good at stocks. And I'm like, I trade options, but you got to know stocks too. We met at a Starbucks. Thank God he's a doctor because I almost died. Here's what happened. He's like, yeah, I kind of need help, man. I got surgeries. I got office hours. I work like 19-hour days, man. And I'm like looking at my phone in between sessions. I'm like, all right. He's like, let me show you what I'm trading. True story, hand to God. He opens his laptop and he swings it around. And I look at his brokerage account. You ready? 33 positions. I think I fell and hit my head and passed out. And he resuscitated me. 33 positions. When he tried, bless his heart, he's like, I'm like, what do you, I think I was speechless. I'm like, what is this? He's like, well, I think this one's a pot stock. And I'm like, wait. Did you just use the words, I think? Yeah. Well, and this one's a surgical stock. You know, a buddy got me into it and it's down 50%, but I'm going to wait till it gets back up to where I got in and then I'll sell it. I'm like, Doc, you're a doc, right? Yeah. You're pretty smart at math too. Yeah. Do you know the math behind the stock being down 50% and having to go? I'm like, stop talking. Shut up. Get out of all of this trash and focus on one name, ladies and gentlemen. And he did. Simplify your trading cockpit, folks. Amazon is diversified in and of itself. I already beat this dead horse, whether it's pharma, aviation, entertainment, retail, everything it is diversified, right? AWS is Microsoft. So if you're sitting here, though, going, dude, I love this. I would love to diversify my trading cockpit. Instead of flying around in that Phantom, I would love to diversify. But to be honest with you, Wiz, that broker who bit me in the neck, I have to diversify. Just doesn't compute. Well, a buddy of mine says that shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. Here's the shrimp for eating Amazon. Look at this. The XLY is an ETF. It's the consumer discretionary ETF. What is the number one holding of this ETF? Amazon. So if you're like, yeah, man, I love just trading Amazon, but I have to diversify. Amazon, 25% of this ETF. You get some Tesla, you get some Home Depot, you get McDonald's, you get some Nike, some Starbucks, some Lowe's, some Target, some Booking, and TJX. Ladies and gentlemen, there is your shrimp. If you want a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce, you want a vehicle for trading Amazon, you can do the XLY. So let's start getting into this. How do we target Amazon and XOY for max profit? Step one, which I'm going to do right now, you establish a base position. For all my Marines in the room, we're going to establish a beachhead. I'm going to hop in my time machine. I'm going to fly all the way out into the future. We're going to take a look at the options chain on Amazon and see how far into the future we can get bullish. The average holding time, this isn't your father and mother stock market. I bought shares of American Express. I had the share certificates. They're in a shoebox in my closet. People are in and out of stocks, folks. The average holding time, I think, is like 16 months. So we're going to go further than that with the options chain. We'll establish a base position. I'm going to show you a tactic right now called synthetic stock. Instead of buying 100 shares of Amazon right now and spending 17 grand, I'm going to show you how to control 100 shares of Amazon for a fraction. That is called synthetic stock. Then, once we're long term bullish all the way out into the future, we're going to trade front months. I don't know what that word means. You're in a front month, January or February. Geez, January's already over. The front months, February, March, April. Amazon's going up. Hey, we're going to trade some bullish spreads or buy some calls. Oh, Amazon's going down. What do you mean? Uh-oh. I'm going to make money as Amazon goes down with some bearish spreads, or I'll buy some puts. What if Amazon's trading sideways? Folks, I can show you my personal brokerage account. There is Amazon channeled. It likes to, after it makes a big move, it settles into a little channel for a little bit. We can do a tactic called an iron condor. I call it a football trade. It can run around on the football field as long as it doesn't run out of bounds. I make money on a range bound trade. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go, excuse me, pull up my brokerage account and I'm going to show you. And, warning Will Robinson, we have earnings today after the close. So right now, this is my personal brokerage account. I have a long-term bullish position. It's called synthetic stock on Amazon. And this is one of my model portfolios. We also over here have a long-term bullish position on Amazon. Let's go ahead and build one together. Now, if you don't know anything about options, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how you can join us here in a little bit, and I give you options training, man, and it's awesome. But this is called an option. Well, pain isn't up yet. I'm just showing you dates. Amazon is the stock I have selected. I'm going to fly all the way out into the future. Look at this. We can get bullish, long-term bullish on Amazon all the way out to June of 2026. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to click on that. And this is called an options chain. If you want it, Whiz, I love it. Long-term bullish on Amazon. If you wanted to buy 100 shares of Amazon day right now, it's $15,700 for 100 shares of Amazon. Guess what? I'm cheap. I'm going to help you control 100 shares of Amazon for the next almost 3 years for a fraction of that. Now, if you don't know anything about options, it's a contract. How do contracts work? They got a date, June of 26th. They got a price. It's called the strike price. That's an options contract. One contract on Amazon controls 100 shares. Watch this. Would you rather spend $15,724 right now, or would you rather let's build a position called synthetic stock? Right now, Amazon's trading at 157, 29, 30, bouncing around. Let's look at the options chain down here. I'm going to look at something that's called at the money. There is no 157.36 strike right now. There's a 155 strike and a 160. So here's what I'm going to do is I am going to create a position called synthetic stock. If you know a little bit about options, hey, if I'm bullish on something, I could buy a call. If you bought one June 26, 155 call, you are controlling 100 shares of Amazon all the way out to 3 years, 2.5, was that? Yeah, 2.5 years out in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, instead of spending 15,000 whatever bucks, it's $3,900. Again, tell me, why would you buy the shares for almost 16 grand? Oh, I want a dividend. Were you asleep at the beginning? Amazon don't have no dividend. They will never have a dividend as long as Jeff Bezos is alive. So while I want to own the shares to be a shareholder, I'm fairly certain Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife own a little bit more shares than you, and your vote's not going to matter. So it makes 0 cents to buy 100 shares of Amazon today. We can get synthetically long Amazon shares right now. So if I buy this call, I can also do a tactic that is called selling and put. Most of you, just options 101 real quick. Buying a call, you're mostly bullish. You think something's going up. If you've ever heard, hey, I'm going to buy some puts because I think something's going to go down, that's bearish, right? So if you're buying puts because you think something's going to go down, who's on the other side of that trade? Well, somebody has to sell me those puts. Exactly. So I could sell an at the money put down here. So let me do that. I'm going to sell one of that same expiration and the same 155 strike. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at. Oh, that's not working. Let me go over to this account and do that real quick. So, when you buy a call and sell a put with the same expiration and same strike, you get what is called synthetic stock. So, and look at this. This is my current position. I did synthetic stock, I think 2 weeks ago when it was down at 150. But the new one would be this. I'd sell one of the June 26, 155 put and buy one of that 155 call. There we go. And the pricing's in there. So, ladies and gentlemen, instead of spending 16 grand to buy 100 shares, instead of spending what was the last one, $3,900 or whatever, just to buy the one call. Remember, when you sell something, you make money. When you buy a call, I had to come out of pocket. Selling the put, whenever you sell something, your house, a car, you make money. So selling that put helped fund this call purchase. $1,600. Again, political science major from South Jersey, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Would you rather spend $16,000 buy 100 shares of Amazon or $1,600? This is what cracks me up about people who don't know about options. Or here's what they know about options. I trade stocks. Okay, great. I trade options. Oh, I heard options are dangerous. What are you talking about? It's ignorance. Well, let's look at the risk. Whoa, Whiz, my max potential loss in this trade is $17,000. Guess what? If you bought 100 shares of Amazon, what's your max potential risk? The 16 or whatever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're trading the options or you bought 100 shares of the stock, the risk is the same. The stock can go to zero, folks. Right? So it's funny when people see this, they're like, oh, look at that risk. I'm like, if you bought so look at the probability of this. Right here, it says probability of losing 17 grand. It's like Mr. Blutarski's GPA from Animal House, 0.00. I guarantee there's about 19 decimal points and a 1. Amazon in the next 3 years is not going to zero. The probability of that happening is almost zero. The odds of getting killed by a golden retriever are never zero. And so, but here's what Uncle Whiz is going to do. Let's say you're like, well, Whiz, I don't, risking 17 grand, even if I bought the 100 shares, it's the same. It's not making me feel good. I'm going to buy what I call a protective put. What's a disaster or what's bearish, right? If you CNBC or Fox, S&P is in a bear market or this stock's in a bear market. Usually the rule of thumb in the Wall Street is what? 20%. If something goes down 20%, it's in a bear market or it's bad. Why don't we trade what I call a disaster put underneath our position? What's that? What's 20% of 160? 16 and 16 is 32. What's 160 minus 32? Somebody do the math real quick. It's got to be down here at around what? Like 130, 125-ish, something like that. So look at what I just did. I put a disaster put, buy one of the June 26, 125 put. Now, well, Wiz, it just went up in price this trade. Of course it did. You just bought some protection. You bought a put. Again, instead of spending 15,700 buying 100 shares, 2,800 bucks. Now, my call sign's Wiz. Not for being a wizard, but I will be a wizard right now. You ready for this? Instead of risking Amazon going to zero and risking $17,000 in this trade, you ready? Instead of risking 17 grand right now, I am risking 5,700 bucks. Instead of risking 17 or blah blah blah. Ladies and gentlemen, if you followed me through that and you knew nothing about options, like I'm kind of hanging with them. That's as cosmic as it gets, man. Now I'll give you an hour training on this tactic called synthetic stock. I mean, I want to keep Fausto on time. I know he's got stuff to do. Ladies and gentlemen, if you somewhat followed that, you can trade options. It's so funny. Nobody can red team. Would you rather spend 15,700 or 2,700 bucks today? Why don't you, instead of spending 15,700, spend 2,700 and take the other 13 grand that would have been tied up in 100 Amazon shares and go on vacation, go buy some other stuff, go do something else. This is called synthetic stock with a protective put. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something real quick that I would not do today. Why? We got earnings after the closing bell, folks. Earnings, I've been doing this for over 3 decades. Earnings are gambling. Retail traders hate earnings. How many of you, earnings to me is 80-20. Let me just tell you this real quick. What do I mean by that? 20% of an earnings call is to the left side of a chart. You really did great this quarter and everything's awesome. 80% of an earnings call or report is the right side of the chart. Our forward guidance. Here's what and you can see it in after hours trading. Great news. We printed money. We had an awesome quarter. Stock goes up. And the future is going to suck. Inflation's raging, war and everything, and we're not looking too good coming ahead. Stock slams. How many times have you done that as a retail trader? I'm going to buy the stock because I hear they're going to have blowout earnings. They did have blowout earnings, and the stock sells off. It's a Wall Streetism, folks, right? You ever hear buy the rumor, sell the news? Let's look at Microsoft real quick. I mean, Microsoft, I think, kind of had to buy the rumor, a little bit of a sell the news. Yeah, look at this. Look at the run up from Microsoft and earnings. And boink. I mean, it didn't sell super hard, but it's sold off a little bit. Why am I rambling about this? Because if it wasn't earnings, I could bring in some money right now. I could sell a front month. What's tomorrow? Look at this, February 2nd, 160 call or something like that. And I just brought in 370 bucks. I just lowered my cost basis by selling an upside call. Now, I would not do this today because Amazon blows the doors off of it after market close and the stock could pop. Matter of fact, does everybody look at that trade? Because I'm going to show you my existing trade on Amazon that I put on last week. It's up almost $1,000, 18%. This is what it looks like. Let me analyze it because I sold tomorrow a 172.5 call. That's pretty far out of the money. So I'm giving Amazon a lot of room today. Tomorrow's the expiration for it to pop. As long as Amazon stays below 172.5 by tomorrow, I make the max profit on these short calls. That's what these things are. And I'll teach you all this stuff, folks. You don't have to sit there and go, I have no idea what selling calls is or anything like that. It's training. Fausto and I weren't born the world's best traders. We had to learn, we had to train, and we had to be disciplined, right? So on your screen right now, my personal brokerage account is the current synthetic stock I have on. I did it at the 150 strike last week, bought the 120 puts, and sold these 172.5 calls. Again, folks, a heck of a lot cheaper than buying 1,000 shares of Amazon today. Okay. I'll take questions in a second here because I forgot the little chat box up there. But because to keep fast on time, how you can join this. It's called Solo Amazon, folks. Like I jokingly said, shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. Solo Amazon is a vehicle for finding out what we do here at Top Gun Options. It's only 97 bucks a month. That's a cheap bottle of wine down here in South Florida. But it's our newest live trading service here at Top Gun Options. And our other briefs, I do Monday through Thursday, trading psychedelic stocks and all sorts of stuff. Those are more expensive. Why is solo Amazon cheaper? We're only trading one name. So we're trading Amazon. Today, hooking you all up, I'll give you the link for both the solo Amazon. If you do the annual, it's $97 a month. But again, political science major math, if you do the annual, I think it's a 25% discount. Okay. So the annual link is topgunoptions.com/solo annual. But let me kind of brief what you're going to get. This is that's last year's solo Amazon portfolio. We busted about 100 grand just trading Amazon, which is pretty nice. On my homepage, folks, is my personal brokerage account. So all the trades are men lie, brokerage accounts, and trades don't. So you can go look on TGO, topgunoptions.com, scroll down, personal portfolio. There's my E-Trade account. Can of 10, Whiz. You do the solo Amazon brief every Monday at 10 a.m., right? I'm in Fausto or something like this. Don't worry about it if you can't attend. I send out a text and email alert. I send out a screenshot of the trade in an email, and I send out like a text alert saying, hey, I'm selling these calls, buying these calls. And then about, there's a sample text alert right there, a screenshot of the trades come in the email. Okay. And then, about 30 minutes after the brief, it takes about 30 minutes for the replay to render on my computer. I post it on the member page. One of our members, Chris, I'm so geeked. Been a subscriber for almost 3 years, and this is the first time I've attended live. I only know you on the replay. So you don't have to be in our live trade briefs, folks. Text, email alerts, and you can watch the replay when the kids go to bed or when you're watching Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. Today, I'm going to give you access to it. You need your manuals, your flight manuals, folks. Primary, intermediate, and advanced. Now, again, for the political science majors like me on this brief, it's $97 a month. These manuals, if I bought them on your homepage today, they're $197. Yeah. So I'm essentially making $100. You keep these no matter what. So this is what my marketing team, it's an irresistible offer. I'm like, it kind of sounds like we're losing money. No, it's the value. I'm like, okay. So you get the manuals and all that type of stuff. So you're going to get the solo Amazon brief every Monday at 10, text and email alerts, manuals, and our ready room. I'm not going to, you can ask me if you need some more case studies. I can give them to you, but as Fausto alluded to, what are we doing today, right? I hate going to these type of briefs and the guy or the gal's telling you about trades from 5 years ago. I'm like, what are you doing now? All right. So I just showed you synthetic stock on Amazon 4 years into the future that you can be long-term bullish on. So if you want to try it, $97 a month. Like I said, I'll throw these links in the chat box in a second here. It's only $97 a month. Doesn't go up. It's no surprise. Like, hey, next month it's 20 grand. It's $97 a month, folks. Try it out for a couple months and then email me. Hey, Whiz, I'd rather do the annual and save a little money. So this is kind of our trial, right? $97 bucks a month. I feel like the Flex Seal tape guy, but wait, there's more. Take the full throttle training, man. Just like they do on Amazon when you check out, it's going to say, hey, if you don't know how to trade options, do you want to learn how to trade options? It's cheap, folks. It's $295. I give you 8 sessions. So what we did today was called synthetic stock, and I did it in 15 minutes. This is about 60 minutes. I will go deep dive with you to do synthetic stock. But look, if you followed that around, that's kind of down there, man. Like, wow, I kind of understood that. Then the stuff before that's going to be even easier for you. Another testimonial. Don't worry. So, folks, newest live service, $897 a year or $97 a month. If you didn't learn anything today, I completely failed. But if you did learn at least something, maybe simplify your trading cockpit. And I didn't mean to attack anybody. If you're sitting here like, I got 33 positions and I'm offended by that. Okay, maybe just kind of give it a quick review and go, do I know what's going on in these names? Do I know them like the back of my hand? And even the analyst at my trading firm, when they get stuff wrong, they're like, dude, I just did not see that coming. Donald Rumsfeld, there are known knowns, right? There are things we know. There are known unknowns. There are things we know that we don't know. And Fausto can admit as well as I can in trading and in combat, there are some unknown unknowns. So I get it. Amazon could be on the earnings call after the market closed today and go, by the way, this happened and it's devastating. That would surprise me too. But I'm just trading these names, these handful of names, and I kind of know them like the back of my hand. So simplify your trading cockpit, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just give you these links real quick, and then I'm going to throw it over to Fausto, or because I don't want you guys to be late to answer some questions. So Fausto, if you got anything for me, man, I'll throw these links in there, and you
Yeah, you got
can.
the links in there, but I'm just telling you, kind of screwed me up because as you were talking, I spent about 100 grand on Amazon. Now I'm like, shoot, I should trade the option. I'm like,
Son of a.
I'm like, oh, now I got to flip out of it and do the and now I have to cover my my position on it. I've been a fan of Amazon forever, and you know what? You're so right because I was actually funny you bring it up. I was talking about it today and this morning, that the reason why Google like there's this big thing going on like that Google took a big hit, and the way Google makes most of their money, people don't realize they don't own anything. They don't own anything. They,
Bingo.
and that's what I'm saying. The way they make their money, a lot of it is on advertising. So I
Yeah.
heard one of these
Yeah.
analysts on TV News perfectly right about it. That Amazon, they're like, you know what? They're like, why we advertise on Google anymore? When you do a search for an item you want to buy, if it's a printer or anything else, where you going?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to send you right back to Amazon anyway. Amazon, like,
Exactly.
you can just like, when's the last time you went on Google and like checked something out, and then you
Yeah.
want to buy something? You're like, where's it
Correct.
sent to? Right to Amazon. They're like,
Well,
Amazon's, yeah. Why
it's
would I
funny you
check?
say that because I remember I don't remember when it was 2, 3 years ago, whatever it was. It was at Google earnings, and on the earnings call, the guy's like, "And there's somebody that I forget the exact wording, fishing in our pond. Like there's kind of somebody making an entry into the advertising space that we need to keep an eye on." It was Amazon. They wouldn't say
Right.
the name, but you're right. Google owns screens at ones and zeros, man. They don't own
And
stuff,
they don't know stuff.
cars, airplanes, entertainment division. So that's a great point. I even think about Google. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Then that's and then the other aspect, and you were around back then when we had the financial crisis. Like one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
things, and I'm going to talk about this. So everyone, please don't log out because I'm going to show you how to follow. How to be a market maker. I'm going to show you how to trade level 3 and level 4 when it comes to it. Because some of the
Perfect.
things that you see, what he's talking about, what Matt's talking about these orders where you're seeing them out there. I'm going to show you if
Mm-hmm.
those orders are in the future. But getting back to the financial
Exactly.
crisis, I remember like when Lehman Brothers went out of business and the stock got, no, I'm sorry, Bear Stearns. Bear
Yeah. Yeah.
Stearns got destroyed. And I remember the CEO, by the way, not to change subject or bouncing around, talking about movies, best movie you guys ever want to watch. If you're a trader, you really want to learn how to trade, you have to watch The Big Short. The
Book
Big
idea.
Short, yeah, The Big Short shows you exactly how, the book is obviously 10 times better, but I had
Yeah.
to watch that movie about 3 times. But getting back to it, Bear Stearns got destroyed. The CEO loved this company so much when the stock was like 130, dropped down to 80. He's like, yeah, I'm a buyer here. And he bought it. But that stock got so destroyed, it got so hedged, it got killed. It went all the way down to like $3, $4. And then all of a sudden, someone came out there. You're like, that building that they own on in Madison Avenue is worth about $1 billion. It's worth
Uh-huh.
more than the stock. You could just buy you could just, the value is there. So like when you're getting
Correct.
back to like with Google and Amazon, they own something. You know what I mean? Hey,
Correct.
you brought up Wall
Mm-hmm.
Street, Wall Street, Gordon Gekko. He said like remember he was talking about the planes. He's like, and
Oh
his,
yeah.
I was telling him about like, you got to buy Blue Airlines, whatever it's called. And then
Blue horseshoe. Yeah.
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 And he's like, and then he finally screwed his dad because he was buying
Mm-hmm.
it. He's like, he was like, what are you doing? He goes like, I want to break it up. It's worth more if I broke it up in
Yeah. I
pieces.
can sell the airplanes and yeah,
Yeah, parts
exactly.
is a Blue Star Airlines.
Blue
There you
Star.
go.
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. So anyway, like getting
Yeah.
back to it, like when Matt was telling you about, guys, go out there and buy his product. Listen, you're gonna learn a little bit from everybody out there. And like
Yeah.
listen, he sold me. I just bought the damn stock now, and then I'm not thinking like I think I should have waited a little bit more, but
So Fausto, man, if you own the shares, you can sell upside calls against those
that's
shares
what I
too.
was gonna do. Like I said, I'll
Nice
hedge
covered call,
myself.
baby.
Yeah, I'll just
Absolutely.
hedge myself and just do that too. But I'm a totally
Yeah,
believer in
man.
you when it comes to that, And believe me, like all these styles and strategies, it's just not Amazon. You could do it. Listen, I'm a huge fan of
Exactly.
Costco. Look where that is. I'm a huge fan of
Love
Eli
Costco.
Lilly.
Yeah.
Look what's happening with that. Like you could use these styles towards anything. So go out there and make a small
Correct.
investment, because it's there's no guarantee that Amazon's going to do what he's saying, but you could use that style to. But I really like
Correct.
this company a little bit more, and even
Yeah,
on some of
Fausto.
the
So
small
the
caps.
so that synthetic stock tactic applies to any stock, right? I,
Right.
I say do synthetic stock on stocks that are going to move up and to the right in 2 years. Don't do synthetic stock on a name that's you don't even know if it's going to be around or something like that. So any stock, a Costco, anything that's solid. I have in our other portfolio, Microsoft. We have synthetic stock on out into the future. When things are going to hell in a handbasket, I say when in doubt, run to MA. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. You can't go wrong. When in doubt, go run to your ma.
Fabulous
So
segue.
yeah, Costco, any of those solid names that are up and to the right, you can fly in your time machine out into the future, get long-term bullish on them for a fraction of the cost of buying the stock. But if you do break down and buy the stock, sell some upside calls against it and bring in some rent money, rent out your stock by selling upside calls. I love that. It's a great
So that's
tactic.
called synthetic stock. I never heard of that. I always
Yeah.
thought they were leaps. Is that the same thing as a leap?
Yeah, so that long-term option all the way out into the future is called a leap. But when
Right.
we build it into that
That's
tactic,
what
the
I thought.
tactic's called synthetic stock using leaps. You bet.
Okay. All right.
Good stuff.
Just a couple of questions, and then we'll let Matt go, and we'll pick up where we left off. But Linda has a question. What is the three stocks in ATAI?
Oh
Thank you.
yeah. I'll type them in here. Compass, ATAI, and MNMD, Mind Med. Great question. So actually, let me share this real quick. Go look at Compass, man. And it's funny, I came this brief. I wasn't going to talk about psychedelic stocks. It was last month. It was a $5 stock. It's up at 12. It popped out at almost 12.50 the other day. All of these names, folks, the psychedelic names are going. Look at Time making a nice big run here, and then MNMD, MindMed, nice solid run here. So all of these names, um, and you can head to nofallenheroes.com and check out what we do in our foundation. If you can make, first of all, making money is great, but if you can make money and potentially help save and change the lives of your fellow humans, that's the win-win right there, man. So these publics, and let me go Whiz real quick, not literally, but as Whiz, I don't want this to happen. Here's what's going to happen though. But as Gordon Gecko, I want this to happen. You ready? Big pharma. So these public psychedelic companies are burning through a ton of cash doing phase 1 trials, phase 2, phase 3. That's R&D intensive, right? And they're coming out with these incredible results that psychedelics help veterans with PTSD and stuff like that. Pfizer, Moderna, these. I know buddies in these spaces. They're like, dude, we're just going to swoop in eventually. After the psychedelic stocks are the Wild West right now. We're going to swoop in with a big check and scoop it all up. I'm like, please don't. As Whiz, I'm like, please don't do that. And then as Gordon Gecko, I'm like, that's fantastic. I own shares in all those companies. Come in and write a big check in those names. So I almost guarantee you that's going to happen. Big Pharma is looking at all these names. They're kind of speaking with forked tongue right now. They're like, oh, this stuff is creepy and bad. And they're trying to patent stuff. Wait, let me take psilocybin and change a molecule and patent it and charge $10, 10 grand a month to do this treatment. Again, I'm bipolar. Whiz, that makes my skin crawl and it breaks my heart. As a stock guy who wants to make money, I'm like, I go Gordon Gecko and Whiz on these things. So yeah, take a look at that. That's a great question. Those are
It's
the
funny you bring
three
that
names.
up. And you know what, Matt, I know we talked about this before, and everybody, we got to definitely do a podcast because,
Oh yeah,
more or
Oh,
less,
that's right. Yeah,
yeah, we got to get
I
that
got to
podcast
write that
because I'll
down.
tell you, there's so much, we have so much in common, and I'm listening to you. But getting back to your point, do you remember that jerk, smart guy? Who said he was like, he's a funny looking guy who's a man. He bought a drug that they were only manufacturers that was for AIDS. I don't know if you remember.
Martin Shkreli or Shirley or whatever his name. Yeah.
You
He
know
went
what
to
I'm talking
jail.
about? So he
Yeah,
bought this drug, and he was a piece of garbage what he did, but he was
yeah,
pretty clever on it because I remember day trading him because I'm looking, I'm like, why is this stock taking off? So
yeah.
there was this drug that was out there, and I forgot the symbol. It was about like 5 or 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the stock was like $5, $6, and it ended up going to like $100, $200
That's
because
right.
what he did
Yep.
was he said, you know what? I'm not going to sell $10. I'm going to sell it to 1,500. And he did. He got away with it.
He
He got away
did.
with it. And he could do that.
It was
And then
legal.
Congress came after him
Yeah,
and he plead the fifth and everything.
correct.
And that just shows you manipulation and stuff like that. But us
Correct.
as traders, like, listen,
Yep.
what it is, what it is. We can't do anything. But like as a stock trader, I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to say, you're not going to short it. I mean, like, if you short a stock, you've been
Exactly.
crushed, you
But
know?
you've been wiped out. Yeah. Like I said,
Yeah.
Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street, he's like, he told Bud Fox, "You want a friend? Get a dog."
Yeah. Yeah,
We're
exactly.
here to teach you to make money. I don't want to keep you too long, but John, your question, just scroll down on topgunoptions.com and you can download right here. It says personal account. You click on that, and it's my entire E-Trade account. So you can go, you're asking for past performance. It is right there, my friend. So all my positions and obviously my account number blacked out, but yeah, it's on our homepage. So anybody who's looking for performance and stuff like that, you can go check it out. So
Matt, thank you
also,
so much for
man,
coming here, man. I really
yeah.
appreciate it. And I look forward. Hopefully when you come into town, we'll definitely meet up. I know you say coming to New
When are you
York.
coming down? I thought you were coming down here
I
soon.
was planning on coming down in March.
Okay.
In March, when it snows over here, because I know I want out here.
Exactly.
So I'm
So,
I'm
folks,
really packed with tons of events going on in February. So once I get that done,
come.
then you coming down what, in 2 weeks?
I'll be up your way for yeah. I'm doing if you any hockey players. I'm going on Henrik Lundqvist podcast. He's
Oh, are you? Okay, so you
the
got some free
ambassador of
time.
Madison Square Garden. Yeah, so I'm going to be on his podcast, and it's my beautiful bride and I's 30th wedding anniversary on the 12th. So if I can
Oh,
squeeze it in, man, I'd love to see you and
no
buy you a
problem. I'll
drink or
take you to a good
something.
steakhouse. I know everybody over here. You come in my neighborhood, bro.
You got it.
All
All
right.
right, brother.
Thanks a
Thanks for
lot.
having
And
me,
everyone
man.
stick around. We're not going to go away. I'm going to pick up from here. And let me just take over control over here. Hold on one
I'll see you
second.
guys. Thanks.
See you. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Hold on, everyone. And hold on. Move this over here. All right. All right, there we go. All right, everybody. So once again, my name is Fausto Pugliese. My name is Fausto Pugliese from Cybertrade University, and what we're going to talk a little bit about is we're going to talk about how to master buying and selling and order flow. Now, you've just seen my buddy Matt from Top Gun Options talk a little about how to hedge yourself, how to do long-term trades. Some of these stocks out there, like how to see these orders out there. Why are they out there? Well, guess what? Those orders are out there through things that are called program trading, algorithms, high frequency trades, dark pools. And we're going to teach you how to see them and how it works and how to have that game plan. So even though if you're an options trader, if you're a swing trader, you'll have to understand that it's part of understanding how day traders see things that are going to help you become that big of a trader down the road. Now, before we get started, once again, quick little risk disclosure. I'm not making any guarantees or promises. It's work. Listen, trading is obviously varies from student to student, but there is a high risk trading, so be very, very careful before you consider getting into the trading industry. Now, here's a couple of things we're going to cover. All right. We're going to cover a bunch of stuff here. And hold on, let me just fix something over here so I can see the chat. There we go. All right. So we're going to talk about how to identify breakouts on certain stocks. We're going to talk about how to use something that's called NASDAQ Book Viewer. I don't know if everyone here has seen me on the NASDAQ show, but NASDAQ, probably runs about 50% of the volume in the entire world of all the trades. I'm going to show you how to see those future orders on the exchange because you really have a seat on the exchange. We're going to talk about how to read order flow, how to predict these movers as they're happening. Most importantly, we're going to talk about price action, okay? Because the thing is, too many people are too focused on the past. Well, it's time to focus on the future, okay? And the future is, where are those orders? So what I want to do right now, I want to go check out the live markets really quick. And I want to show you what's going on right here in the market. All right, so we were obviously talking about Amazon. Okay, if you were logged in, and if you saw Matt from Options, uh, Top Gun Options, and what I want to show you here is something. Hold on, let me bring this back up, and hold on one second. This. All right, so right. Oops, hold on. I gotta fix something here. I gotta fix my. I gotta fix something. Total. Um, oops, wrong one. Orders and orders. All right. So right here, you could see, hold on. There we go. So right now, what we're looking at right here is Amazon, okay? And you could see every single order that is going on right now on this position. Now, I'm going to eliminate a lot of these hundreds and ones, and so I'm going to put a filter in there, and I'm going to say, don't show me anything under 1,000 shares, okay? So I'm going to hit this filter out here. I'm going to kind of eliminate all these orders out there. And now what you're seeing here is now you're seeing all these block orders out there at every single price. Now, what I want to show you is this. And I'm going to move this over here on the right. Hold on one second, because I want to change things up around here. So you can see two screens at one time. There we go. And I'm going to type in Amazon here. All right. So what you want to focus on right here, fellow traders, is this. Let me get my crayons. And you see this right here at $160. It's the sell orders. Every sell order out there. Okay. You'll see that there are 1,000 share orders, 2,000 shares, 9,000. But you see right there at 160 is the big resistance. Well, I want to bring this up here so you could see something even cooler. Is this. Remember Matt was talking about that 160s? Well, look right here. If you look here on this chart right here, you'll notice that 160 has been a big problem in breaking. Okay. And that has to do with this guy right here. Okay. Now, I don't know if some of you saw me on NASDAQ. I was talking about, what was the one? NVIDIA. Okay. I want to bring up NVIDIA really quick. You're not going to see it now, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about on the long-term chart. So NVIDIA, let me just clear out the chart right here. NVDA. Now, if you look at NVIDIA right here, I'm going to draw a trend line. You see NVIDIA right here has a very tough time breaking 500. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of slides, and we'll go to NVIDIA, and I'll bring NVIDIA over here, by the way, NVDA. NVIDIA had a huge 100,000 share seller at 500. Back in January, once it broke that 500, the stock went to 625. Okay. Now we're trading here. You don't see 100,000 share buyers and sellers. Actually, I think it was more than that. I think it was like 100. I think it was like 200,000. Actually, if I'm correctly, this is what prevents stocks from breaking, making supports and resistance levels. All these orders. So I'm going to go over the details about this, and not only that, but I'm going to ask some of you if there's a stock you want me to check out, and how do these things actually work? Okay. How do these orders actually get put out there? And if you're on the right side or the wrong side, because being a good options trader or swing trader all starts by seeing if those same orders that you had that game plan where you want to do that entry and exit, because if that's the entry and exit, that order that you thought was in the past is going to be in the future. So we're going to cover a little bit of that. So let me minimize this and let's move on. So let me tell you a little bit about myself for some of you who don't know me or haven't seen me before. I've been doing this for over 30 years, just as long as Matt was telling you, as long as he has. And listen, if we've been around this long, we're obviously doing something right. How I got started is exactly what you see right there. It's a big article written up on us, a bunch of kids tormenting Wall Street. I was 22 years old back then. I've been doing it ever since. I'm 52 right now, and I love what I do. And what's scary about this photo is that you see that little computer right there? We used to make money on that computer, 15-inch, 50-pound tube TV. People can't even make money with 6 monitors, but we were able to do that. And with that system, all we used to look at is that. That's it. That is all we looked at. We had all these fancy indicators, all that. That's all we trade on, something called Workstation 2. And it's still being used today because that is how the market works. Now, over the years, what ended up happening with me is I had to work for somebody, and every other person was a market maker. We want to move on. We were like, listen, we used to split out profits. And, it was time to say, you know what? I want to do this on my own. I want to start my own business, because I'm making them rich. I learned a lot. And by the way, everyone here needs to work for somebody, needs to be mentored by somebody. And if you're one of those people that think you're going to do it on your own, I got news for you. Go work at McDonald's because you're going to blow up your account. You need mentors, and you're going to need more than one. And what ended up happening with me is that because I had a very good relationship with the people I was working with, they taught me point blank. And they said this, Fausto, you're going to lose everything. He goes, I don't care how good a trader you are. They're like, well, why? I can't go and leave. You don't want me to leave? He goes, no, I'm going to do you a favor. You want to learn how to trade. You want to continue your career as a good trader. You have to teach people how to trade like you. You got to build a team. Okay. You got to surround yourself with good traders because you share ideas. And I'm like, why do you think you did so good when you traded next to Tina or Jamie or Frank Ferrara? And how did you, more importantly, learn how to even be a better trader than to learn from that schmuck Bill that could never make money, that he got fired, and Mike Kalansky, he came in and out because he couldn't wake up in the morning. He got fired. You learn from the losers, the people that were not successful, and you learn from the good people. But you got to train people to train like you. And that's what I'm looking to do today. I'm looking to find traders that I could bring to my team, and I want to invite all of you to be part of. I'm going to bring it up here really quick. Oops, where am I? Which is right here. I want you to be part of my trading room. And I'm going to show everybody how and where to get access to this. And we do live commentary. We're there all day. We do classes all day. We talk in there all day. I'm going to show you how to get in there. So I don't know if anyone's here part of a trading room, but you're all going to see what it's like to be in a real, almost a floor trading environment. Now, I met people all over the world. Actually, lucky enough, I was able to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange with the person on the bottom left, which I assume everyone knows, Steve Forbes. Actually, that was his first time he rang the bell, which even made it even more exciting. But I know everyone in the industry. Great traders never stop learning. And that's why we always do well. And you know what? At the end of the presentation, you guys stick around. I'm going to give you my book for free. You can actually go to Amazon, which, was funny that Matt was talking about it. You can go buy the book. You can pay me $47. But you know what? As a gift to save you, I'm going to give it to you for free. So you got to stick around the end. I'm going to give you that code. Now, I'm always on NASDAQ. NASDAQ wants me on there because they know the importance of being a good trader is you got to know how to trade the market. And you'd be shocked that a lot of you people just don't know how the market works. You don't really realize that there are bids and there are offers and there are high frequency trades, all that stuff, all these algorithms. It's not complicated stuff. It's just a number. But people, when you go out there and you put a stop loss, you know that order is being advertised. You could see it. You could see it. And you know what really hit a nerve? What Matt was talking about too prior is that remember he was talking about payment for order flow. You remember he was talking about that? Guess what? One of the biggest things we teach you in trading is that if you're trading, you think you're working with a brokerage firm and they're giving you free tickets, guess what? They're ripping you off. First of all, let me ask everyone a dumb question. Did you work for free? The only time I ever worked for free is charity. I mean, my son wrestles. Okay, I have to raise. I'm on the parents' wrestling team, so I'm always doing fundraising. You think I said, "Oh yeah, I'm doing a fundraising, but I got to get paid for it"? Yeah, really? How does that work out? Okay, the only thing is free is the cheese in the mousetrap. So half the people fail by having the wrong brokerage account and having, basically, having the wrong brokerage account and having, the not knowing how to trade the market. But with that said, let me talk about and get to know a little bit about you, because I don't want to just sit here and talk all day. I want to basically learn a little bit about everyone else. So I don't know, Greg, I don't know if you have up there, but could you pop up the quiz? I want to pop up a quiz really quick, a poll question. So can everyone just tell me what type of trader is everyone? Are you a stock trader? Are you an options trader? Because I don't have access to the polls. Unless I grab, let me see if I can grab host. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Greg, for that. Does everybody see that poll question up there? Can everybody just tell me what kind of trader you are? And I'll share the polls. I want to see what kind of traders we got in the trading room. So as we're doing that, I'll just tell you a little bit. I'm a day trader. Okay. And what exactly does that mean? Well, pretty much 80–90% of my trades are just getting it in and out the same day. I do swing trade, I do some options, but I just like to sleep at night. I just like to make my stocks for the day, what's moving in the market, and I kind of trade. And that's basically what day trading is all about. So let me end the poll. Let me share with everyone so you can see what pretty much what everyone is here. You got about 73% of you trading stocks, and you got a lot of you trading options. All right, thank you very much for that. I still can't see if I can do the poll questions on that though. But let me stop and share that. All right, so share that so we know what everyone is. So now the next question I have for everybody is, yeah, you're gonna have to post it up for me. So who trained you? Okay, so let's do one more last poll question. Okay. Polls. Oh, there we go. All right. Ooh. Trying to bring up the poll question up here. I can't bring it up. I don't see it on my watch list. Who trained you? Maybe you could do it, Greg, for me. I can't. For some reason, I can't do it. I'll give you the host. So, I don't have access anymore. Okay, let me give you access. Okay, well, never mind. I'll just ask everyone. Just put it in a chat room. Oh, I got Rich. All right. All right, there you go. I don't know if you could do it now. And it's always nice to know what kind of education people have and where you came from and stuff like that. But okay, Option Animal, Theo Trade, Tim, anyone else? Online Trading Academy. Okay, good, good. Self-taught, YouTube. All right, great. Well, let me kind of explain to you a little bit about trading. You want to be successful in trading? A lot of us are probably parents here. You are a mentor. Okay. You need to learn from somebody. You cannot do this on your own. I'm just going to warn you right now, and please don't take this in a bad way. I'm a little brash sometimes, but you want to fail in trading, be self-taught. And you're going to learn the hard way. Everybody here needs to learn from not even one, but from several different people, because maybe options are not your style. Maybe stocks are not your style. Maybe day trading, swing trading. But you need to hear from a bunch of different people, and you got to go through their program. You got to learn a little bit what they do. That's how you become a good trader when it comes to trading the market. All right. So, but I'm going to show you how important it is, because what you're about to learn right now and what I'm about to show you, you're going to wish you never made your first trade. You're going to be like, how did I not know? Like, this makes so much sense. It doesn't seem hard. It's not. You know what the hardest part about trading? The greed and the discipline. That's it. Now, we all know this has been a big week with earnings, and there's a lot of big earnings coming out today. I mean, after the close, you got Amazon, you got Apple, you got Facebook, a lot of big companies coming out with earnings today. But there are other stocks out there moving. I mean, look what happened. We've been trading. Look at the stock Rail Vision. I mean, stock goes from $5 to $25, right? Look what happened over the course of the day. It goes from 8 to 11, okay? And then it goes from 11 to 16. You see, like, when you see that move, you're like, yeah, I made 15% over the year. 15%? Yeah, that sounds pretty good, but what's 15%? When you see things like this, they're like, I never been in a stock like this. Guess what? There are 20,000 stocks that move every single day, okay? And finding them is not that hard. The question is, how do we know it's going to continue to go higher? Who's pushing that stock up? And that's what I want to cover. And listen, if anyone here wants to backtrack and see what we do here, is all you have to do. Follow us on our X platform, subscribe to our Instagram, our YouTube channel. Listen, some people are like, well, I'm not a Instagram person. No problem. Maybe you are on TikTok. Oh, Chinese, I don't want to get involved with them. Follow us on YouTube. We're everywhere. Maybe you're a fan of Elon Musk. We're on X. So the thing is, every morning we post our watch lists and our afternoon lists. And we call them watch lists because we want you to watch them, because you need to make that trade. You got to think about getting in out of them. But I'm going to show you, all of you are going to come to my trading room. You'll see it live. All right. But finding them is pretty easy. Finding them is just going through the big percentage gainers and losers. Like when we trade stocks, I'll be honest with you, I don't care what the company does. I mean, it doesn't really matter as a trader. I want to find something that's going to give me the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. Like you just saw that one stock, the rail stock company. Some of you are like, I never heard of it. I never traded it, or it's too cheap. I get it. But if it's going up, or you could short it going, making money on the short, why not? Why not? If the orders are out there, they're out there. But like every mentor will tell you, you want to be successful in trading, you need to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win. You're going to lose in trading. It's part of the game. Do not be scared to lose. And the only reason why you're probably scared to lose is because you're trading too many shares. And you know what? You're probably too scared to take the profit because you got too many shares on it. So diversifying and trading small shares is very key. But to understand this, you have to ask everyone a simple question. Why do stocks drop in the first place? So I want to ask everybody that question right here. Why do stocks drop? Let's get into the fun part of it. If you can't answer this question, you better quit trading. I'm telling you right now. Hurry, you're right. Mike, you're right. Murphy, you're right. Anyone else? Bill, you're wrong. You're way off. Way off. Not an indicator. What else? Guys, don't be scared. Don't be shy. You know, Alan, I didn't hear from you. Bruce, Carl, Mike, just be honest with me. Why do stocks go down? Why do stocks drop in the first place? Sellers, right? Sellers. Can everyone just write that in there so I know everyone's paying attention? Because I don't want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. Can everyone just write sellers, SS? Just go on your keyboard and type the S so I know you're there. All right? Kramer does not own stock. All right. Good. Okay. So the answer is less buying, more selling. So selling really has to do with it. I know it's a stupid question, but you know what? This is where you're going to get the stupid answer, because you're going to realize that you were not doing the more logical thing of understanding why stocks go up and why they come down. So does anyone here ever heard of level 3 or level 4? Anyone ever heard of this before? Level 3 and level 4 trading. While you're writing it down, I'm going to take a sip of my little Krispy Kreme coffee. Never, Joe said. Murphy has, William has, just level 2, Joe. Okay. Listen, fasten your seatbelts right now, because I need your 110% attention, because what you're about to see right now is going to probably be the most disturbing thing. What you're going to probably say right now is you're going to look at this and be like, I don't understand. Why doesn't anybody talk about this? And I'll tell you why, because they're not market makers. Okay. And even though if you're looking at the option market and you see all those numbers, see all those orders, it's pretty much the same thing. But this, what you're seeing is those orders. This is the foundation before you could build that building. Okay. Because listen, a building, a house, you could build it any different way. You could do a colonial house. You could do ranch. You could build, whatever, modern. You could do so many. People could sell you a house 1,000 different ways the way it looks. But you know what they can't sell you? The foundation. The foundation is the foundation. You can't say, can I have this kind of foundation or that kind of foundation? No, this is the foundation of how the stock market works. So pay attention, because now you're going to realize what everyone's telling you about how to build that home. If you don't know this, everything else you can throw out the window. So as I asked everyone, you can see a lot of you don't have level 3 or level 4. Some of you do, thanks to me. And by the way, I'm going to show you where to get it. All right. Now, what we're looking at right here is NASDAQ Book Viewer, which I just showed you before. Now, let me just kind of reiterate what we have right here. So right here, we have buyers, and right here, we have sellers. So what you're seeing right here is every single buyer on the stock Uber. Every buyer, every seller. That's what you're looking at right here. Every buyer and every seller, period. No if and buts about it, okay? Now, how it works is this. Whoever wants to buy stock for the most amount of money is up on top. Whoever wants to sell their buy shares for less money is down at the bottom. Whoever wants to sell their shares of Uber is up on top. Whoever wants to obviously, sell it for a lot more money is down here at the bottom. So it's basically a negotiated market. You are seeing every buyer and every seller around the entire world. Now, all these orders are being aggregated. So you could see that there's like 20 different people out here that make up this 70,000 shares to sell at, $63. So this is not one person. It could be several different people around the world. But what you're seeing is 50% of the volume of the stocks that are being traded on Uber on NASDAQ. Now, there are other ECNs out there. There is New York Stock Exchange, there's the CBOE, there's EDGX. There's a lot of different exchanges out there. Some of you probably never heard of and even know they even existed. But I know we all know the New York Stock Exchange. I know we all know the NASDAQ Exchange because they're on TV all day. They're even indexes. But this is basically where it all starts. Now, let me clear this out and let me show you how it uses data. All right. So everybody wants to learn support levels, right? Oh, where's the support? Where's the resistance? Well, let me explain something to you. Supports do not exist unless those buyers are out there, and the sellers don't exist. A resistance level does not exist unless those the sellers are out there. So here, for an example, we're looking at Bank of America. Bank of America is coming down from 33.80 and it hits this price number right here, 33.25, hovers there for about an hour or two and goes right back up to 33.80. Now, why did it stop at 33.25? It's not because of the Fibonacci. It's not because the Schenken or the RSI. It's because if you look at the NASDAQ market, there was 168,000 shares looking to be bought at 33.25. And there were 5 people that made it, which is amazing because you'd be like, wait a minute, there's 3 orders at 2,000. How do we get 5 people? That's like 2 other people. Yeah, maybe somebody's looking to buy 150,000 shares. Now, do we care who it is? No, I don't care. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is there's a big buyer out there, and that's what makes a support level. And the same thing goes with resistance. You're looking at a stock that went from 1270. It stops over here at, I don't know, 1345. And from 1130, it hit it. Never wanted to go past that number. I don't know why. I mean, maybe you don't know why, but I know. And it comes all the way back down, which kind of stinks because that happens. And you wonder, why did it not go past that number? Well, did you see the 94,000 share seller out there at 34.45? Honestly, did you see that? I mean, I see it. Think about this for a second. How many of you here have traded the market and wish they knew that they knew where all these 94,000 share buyers and 200,000 share sellers are? Think how much smarter and better trading decisions you would have made if you knew where those orders are. Like, for example, you have an option trade. Someone's teaching you this good option strategy. Or someone's telling you, hey, you know what? This stock goes past this. This is a good buy. This is a really good buy right here. It's got every thing that's going to tell us earnings are great. That's great. But where's the street? What are they doing? You think it's going up. How many of you people have listened to people and they love talking about the winners, but never talk about the losers? They always brag about, oh, look, I told you this, I told you that. Now, listen, sometimes they're right, but sometimes they're wrong. And the only way to know if they're right and wrong is like, okay, you think it's going up, and I know you know what you're talking about and stuff like that, but you're not Goldman Sachs, you're not BlackRock. You know what I mean? Like, wait, do you know where they are? And they're like, well, I do. They're right there. I don't know if it's them specifically, but someone's out there trying to buy and sell it. It's all about following orders. Now, let's go over a couple of trades that we did this week. Okay, let's talk about Tesla. Tesla is one of the biggest searched stocks on the internet, right? It's the most searched stock. And everyone, I know probably half of you probably traded Tesla once before. But let's look at Tesla. Tesla goes up. It goes from 184. It goes all the way to 190. Okay, now it begins to pull back down. All right, now where can we find support levels on the chart on Tesla? Can anybody tell me? Let's see how knowledgeable everyone here is. Can anybody give me an idea where do you think we could probably find the support levels on Tesla? Let's see what you guys come up with. 188, okay. 184. One of you said, I don't know, you can't tell by this chart. Okay. Mark, good question. We didn't get to that. But I'm waiting for everyone else to answer this question. 188, 187. Okay. So again, people are going 188, 187. Anyone else? If you don't know the answer, give me a question mark. Dash says 184. Okay. I'm going to tell everybody something that hopefully is going to make you feel good. You're all right. Every one of you are right. Those are all support levels. There's one problem. That's the past. Who's out there in the future, right? So we're looking for support levels, right? Where is support levels? We got to look. Those are buyers. Can anyone here tell me where do you see the big buyers? Where's the big buyers? Well, if anyone needs a little help, here's the buyers section. Where we see the big buyers. Let's see how we figure this out. All right, now think about all the numbers all of you all told me. Okay, well, this is right here. This is a larger version here on the left. So if you can't see with your eyes, you should be able to see here. So guess what? You were all wrong. You were right by the past, but every single one of you had the wrong number. Is that scary? Just prove that to you. And guess what? Watch what happens. I change the slide here. Where did it hit? It didn't hit 87. It didn't hit 88. It hit 87 and a half. 187 and a half, 50 cents. So if you had your limit order to buy it at 87, guess what? You never got it. All right. And if you bought at 188, you obviously could have bought a little bit cheaper. And look what happened. Now, listen, I know the stock went to 194, big. Listen, I'm just looking at a brand name stock. They do this on every single stock. All right. Let's look at coin, for example. Coin's going up, right? Coin, but the problem is it's not showing any support levels. It's not showing any resistance levels, right? So where do we buy it? Well, when you're looking at coin, right, there is a buyer 131 right here for 79,000. Now, this is the crazy part about this, and you probably never realized it. Look at all the buyers out there. 600 shares, 200 shares, 500, 6,000, right? 79,000 at that specific number at 131. Now, you're probably thinking like, why is anyone even wasting their time to buy 300 shares or 200 shares at this number? I thought that there's going to be more people out there. No, listen, that is called program trading. And there's 32 people out there. And if the stock was coming down and you're thinking to get out, well, and you need to know where the next support level is, well, there's your answer. And by knowing that that was a support levels and wondering, why it bounced, and you'd be like, damn it, why did I sell it? I thought that my MACD started pushing it down. It was crossing with my 200 moving average and all that crap. Well, you know what? Did you see there was a 79,000 share buyer out there and he wasn't getting filled? Think about how much smarter and better trading decisions you'll make, right? Just by knowing where the orders are. Let me ask you a dumb question. How many people feel sometimes you trade and you feel like every time you buy it, the damn thing goes down. Every time you sell it, it goes up. And you feel like somebody's watching you, right? You ever feel that way, everyone? It's like, I understand. It always happens. Like, that always happens to me. Getting a couple of yeses. Guess what? I got news for you. Nobody's watching you. You're just not watching them, right? Think about it. You think when I used to trade on the floor that I thought I was smarter than the other guy? Let me tell you, you never, ever, ever want to be the smartest person in the room, but you sure want to be the dumbest person in the room, okay? You want to be a good trader? You want to be good in any industry? You find the smart people around there and you learn from them. But if it's like being the richest person in your town. You think I want to be the richest person in my town? I mean, how is that going to make me any more wealthier? I'm already the richest person in town. Okay. I don't think that, and I know a couple of people like that. But you know what? Where are they going from? Where are you going from there? The way you learn is you got to learn from good traders and you got to follow those orders. And that's what I learned as being a market maker. And that's what separated people that had egos, that they thought they knew more than everyone else. And that's what made people make money versus fail. Let's talk about what about resistance levels. Okay. This morning, Amazon had made a really, really nice move, right? It's going up. It's making a nice push. We were talking about it earlier, Amazon. I actually bought it. Then all of a sudden, after a big move goes up, now we're starting to see iceberg orders starting to show up. Now you got this big 39,000 share seller out there for about 564 shares, orders out there. So what do you think is going to happen next? Well, you're getting close to that resistance. You got that big seller at 161, 39,000, a lot of hundreds and 200s. Stock goes down. But when you look at it now, it's going up, which we didn't talk about that next. We're going to talk about that after because, listen, the thing about trading, stocks can break resistance levels. Listen, somebody could buy that 31,000 shares. Why not? I mean, the stock's trading millions and millions of shares. But to question it, you just want to get a good price at it. That's what it's all about. Now, let's go to the live markets really quick. Let's have a little fun here. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to ask everyone here to, hold on. Give me a stock, any stock that you guys want to trade, and we'll look at it. Give me a stock that everyone wants to trade, or if you're in a position. DWAC, you want to look at the Trump stock? Let me look at it, DWAC. DWAC is a little bit more. We traded DWAC. The stock does trade a little bit more on the volatile side, but looking at it, you got a 10,000 share buyer at 59 orders over here at 35. You got 6,000 here at 41. 45, you got about 14,000 here at 45. You could see, some resistance level, a little bit, not the greatest to see orders. Stock is pretty volatile. Let me see a look at someone else's. Mara had a nice move this morning. We trade Mara a lot. So Mara, you could see right here at 1887. We have a 23,000 share seller out there. Does everybody see that right there down here at the bottom? And if I blow this up, guess what? See how I hit that resistance and came back down close to it? Kind of makes sense. Oops. Let's look at another one. Some of you brought up NVIDIA. NVDA. So NVIDIA is moving up pretty nicely. NVDA. Game plan is where's resistance? So NVIDIA, not really that big orders out there. We got 14,000 here at 630. You got 800 people out there. So we're getting, that's at 630. We're way before that. So you got 10,000 share seller at 628. So we're getting close to that number right there. 626. Not that many orders in here. Not that big of an iceberg order out there. But let me see if I can find one out there for you. Not that big. Tesla has pretty good ones, I think. Tesla has good ones. So now we're looking at Tesla. What do we got here? Okay, so we got a 41,000 share buyer over here at 184. Everybody see that down here, bottom left? You got 1,774 orders out there. And what is that, 184, right? Oh, wow, what a coincidence. I don't know. Does this spell it out to you right there? See that? See how the Tesla came right back down? And it was literally hovering there for about 15 minutes. And then finally at 184, look, it's at 187. Why that stock go up? Because that big buyer right there that we see that down there at the bottom. Actually, I'll even let me bring it up a little bit. Let me change these to 3,000 and eliminate anything a little bit shorter. I'll bring this up a little bit. There you go. So you see how those orders? 30. Can I go 90 here? See that right there? 183. And where's our resistance levels? Some of you probably asking, well, we know we're getting closest resistance levels right here at the 188, right? We got, it's not 188. We got 10,000 there. And we got another 10,185. And then we got not really that much. We got 20,000. Once we get around 190, that's when we start getting 20,000s. So these are people you got to break through just to get through that. All right. Can you only see limit orders? What about market orders? Well, you can't see a market order because when you put a market order, that means you execute. It means like you can't. How do you see a market order? I don't understand. Market order means like you just buy it. You know, it's a done deal. So you can't see a market order. You see the limit orders. These are limit orders out there. This is program trading that's out there. So you could only see limit orders. You can't have to see a market order. How do you see a market order? Someone says buy it at market. The only way you can see market orders, I'll take that back, is right here on time and sales. See this little window right here that's moving pretty quickly? This window right here? These are all market orders, but the stock's moving pretty quickly. All right. Now, let me get down to PowerPoint because we're running out of time here because I don't want to take up too much time for everyone else. Now, you're probably asking me a question. Fausto, where can I get Book Viewer? All right. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to email me. Everybody take my email address. And the reason why is because please don't go to NASDAQ and try to call them up. You're not going to get them on the phone, number one. And number two, you're never going to find it on their website. And number three, if you do find it, you're probably going to do more harm than good. I have a full tutorial because the defaults are wrong. The filters are wrong. They don't know. They're going to give you everything. Look over here on the bottom right-hand side. Look at all those columns. You could have like, if you don't know what you're doing, you could have like 10 columns. You'd be like, this is like a disaster. Email me if you want to get it. I'll show you. I'll give you a little quick tutorial on it. Now, by the way, one last thing. Everyone's probably, the next thing you guys are going to ask me is this. What does this cost? Right? Well, I could tell you this. I paid about $1,000 a month when I started. Now, for a 22-year-old to come up with $1,000 to have a seat on the exchange was a effing steal. Because they're going to ask you, hey, listen, you got to pay money. You want to trade. You want to have the tools. You got to pay for it. That's how the exchange makes their money. Guess what? Doesn't cost 1,000. Doesn't cost 500. Doesn't cost 100. Doesn't cost 50. You know what it costs? $15. $15 to have a seat on the exchange. It's like a no-brainer. Like, why would you not want to pay 15? Does anyone have a problem paying $15 to know where half the volume of the market is? $15? $15? Let me tell you something. If you can't afford $15, you should quit trading. How do you not want to see that? And you know what? You're not locked in like a lifetime member. You do it for 1 month just to see what it's about. $15. That's all it costs. The only time $15 is a waste of money if you don't even know how to use it. All right. Now, you got my email. One last thing. There is something called level 4. Now, you're like, wait a minute, level 3. Now you tell me it's level 4, Fausto? Yeah, there is a level 4. And I don't want to go into detail about it because, you know what? I want you to come into the trading room and I'll show you. Basically, it's more in a heat map. So now we could just see orders that are getting executed. We could see all the algorithms. We could aggregate all the other exchanges because right now we're only seeing one. Now you can see several of them. So before we actually go there, let's start small. But yes, there is a level 4. Okay. And we'll talk about that when you come into our trading room. Now, can you show me at least one example? All right. I'll show you one example. All right. I'll show you one because I feel bad. All right. So let me just show you one example. Let me find a good one for you. So one stock we were trading this morning was Peloton. Peloton took a really, really, really big hit today. All right. So I want to show you what happened over here at Peloton. Peloton started this morning around 5:30 and it came down. It was a great short and went all the way down to about 10 o'clock in the morning. And then it stopped around 4:20. Now, right around here at 4:20, see all these little orange lines? These are all buyers. So you got like 80,000, 50,000, 21,000. A lot of buyers are right here are supporting supporting it. So you're probably wondering why after 10 o'clock did it stop going lower? It just took such a big dive. Well, if you notice there was no buyers out there. But now when the day went on, now we're testing all these big buyers out there. That is what level 4 is all about. Now, when you look over here, and you want to wonder, why Peloton might have support levels right there back in September, October, November, right? And I don't care if you're a Peloton fan or not. I don't care about the damn thing. I don't even have one. I don't own it. But you know what? If I could short the damn thing and make money, why the hell not? Right? I have no allegiance to this stock. They don't know who I am. I'm just an ant on the floor getting the crumbs. Okay? People moving millions, 80,000, 50,000 shares. But right here, some of you might say, oh, Fausto, the reason why it bounced there is because, like you said, you had the moving average, the Bollinger Band, the MACD. That's the reason why. Because this thing was so spread apart, and when you took the measuring thing and you saw from here that I don't even know how people read this crap. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'd rather just look at this. I'd rather see. Yeah, you're right. All the orders are out there. That's the only reason why it's bouncing, not because some indicator, some guy showed me how it works. I'd rather look at that than this. So that's what trading is all about. Now, let's get into the let's go out there and get to the fun stuff. How can we learn more? Well, let me explain something to you. Cybertrade University has been endorsed by more brokerage firms and exchanges than any school in the industry. Why is that? Because we were market makers. That's what I used to do. And it's not just Fausto. We have several instructors in the trading room. You could see Benzinga, NASDAQ, Metastock, Charles Schwab, TradeStation, Thinkorswim. This just names a few. When's the last time someone trained you and says, oh, they're endorsed by every one of these companies? Do you know these companies do background checks on us, do compliance checks on us? You think they want to refer us, thinking we teach people how to lose money? Let me explain something to you. They want you to succeed, because if you succeed, you'll be a client theirs forever. And that's why we've been endorsed by every brokerage firm. And more importantly, this is why Cybertrade University has literally a 5-star rating at Google. Okay? Some people don't even have ratings on Google. Go look at our Google reviews and you'll see it. And we also got an A+ rating at the Better Business Bureau. Because the thing is this, you got to learn if you want to earn. Now, this is the deal. This is what I'm going to do you. I want to invite every single one of you to come to my professional trading room. I want to show you this for a whole week. And all I'm going to charge you is $9. That's it. $9. That's right. $9. $9. So everybody have their phone? You could turn the camera on, scan that QR code, or you can click on the link that we just posted up in the room. Now, some of you are like, wait a minute, $9? Yeah, $9. I'm going to give it to you for $9 for 1 week trial. We're not going to charge you anything more, anything less. I'm not going to charge you another, after the week's over, whatever it is. What I'm looking for is this. I'm looking for serious traders. I don't know, Trader Bill, who you are. I mean, I see Billy Matz. I don't know who you are. I mean, I got one guy's got all explanation. I'm looking for serious people. You want to trade? If you want to take us seriously, we'll take you seriously. You want to see this all day long? Here's going to be a chance. And by the way, these are the things that you're going to get with it, because it's just not that. We do live audio commentary from the morning to the afternoon. Okay. And it's just not me. It's several of my instructors. You're going to have full access to our trading room. Okay. You're going to see all our traders, how they get in and out of stocks. You're going to see how they think for themselves. We have gurus that come in, just like we just had prior. Like we had Matt from Top Gun Options, and we had Benzinga the day before. So we always have great people in this industry. We're going to give you hundreds of hours of workshops that we have of recording, so you'll be able to access all that stuff. And as a bonus, I said this, I'm going to give you my book. So you can go to Amazon, pay $47. I'll be happy to take you $47, so I'll give it to you for free. Okay? And that's what you're basically going to get, all that stuff. Now, this is basically the schedule that you're going to get. We're going to go from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to be there all day. Okay? Listen, you could just be there in the morning. You could just be there in the afternoon. You could be there for an hour. You don't got to be there all day. Okay? But that's really what our schedule. What we do, we run a professional trade room. This is how Wall Street works. This is how when you work at a market maker firm, how it goes. We do the same exact thing. Now, I want to take some questions as some of you are registering right now. Some popular questions people ask me, how much money do I need to get started? $9. That's it. $9. You don't need anything more than that. Don't worry about anything else. That's all you need. Secondly, do I need a brokerage account? No, I don't want you to trade. I just want you to watch. People go out there and they think they got to go out of their way and got to learn how to, maybe can I trade with you? We don't want you to buy or sell anything. All we want you to do is watch how we have traders that think for themselves, because I can't tell you what to hit the button. Listen, I have a family. I'm here right now. You know what I mean? You need to know how to hit the button. You need to know how to, control those winners and losers. Where do I get level 2? Do I need it? No, I told you that when you do this recording, we'll give you the link where to get it, and then you'll be able to, if you want to pay the $15, pay the $15. But this is a lot cheaper. But we're going to broadcast it live during the market hours. Does your room also cover options? Yes, and not only that, but we cover swing trading also. A lot of our traders do that too. But it all starts by learning how to day trade, which will help you learn how to swing trade and trade options. Now, this is everything that you're going to get. Everything. Look at this. Workshops, trading video, everything. And you know what? The book, everything. I'm going to throw one more last bonus to everybody here. One last bonus. If you register right now, I will personally talk to you on the phone. Now, think about it. When's the last time that you did a trial and you spoke to the owner? Right? Now you're like, why would Fausto talk to me? What's he getting out of the $9? I'll tell you what I'm getting. I'm getting somebody I can interview that hopefully can be part of my team. Because let me tell you something. We're going to have that conversation. And don't take this in a bad way. A lot of you really don't qualify to trade. There's a lot of people out there that want to take your money and teach you how to trade and go figure out your own. It doesn't work that way. Okay? I will be very honest with you. You're going to see our style, and you're going to make that decision, and we'll have that conversation to see if you're up for it. Okay? But I will tell you point blank. But I need to have that conversation with you first before we move forward, because the easiest thing you could do is open up a brokerage account, trade, get in something, and blow up your account. So all you need to do right now, fellow traders, get your phone or click on that, and you will get you registered. Now, a couple of people just want to kind of do a quick shout out right there. We got a couple of people that just emailed me. Steven, I got your registration. Welcome aboard. Got your registration. Joe, I got your email, Joe D, regarding about getting that archive, getting that book. I'll be able, the book viewer. I'll get you that over. Greg, I got your registration. Michael got your registration. Now listen, when you guys register, very important that you do this. We're going to ask you about 5 questions. Want to get to know a little bit about you. It's more of a questionnaire, nothing great, just crazy, just more or less, are you trading, who you're trading with, make sure, we know a little bit about you. And then every one of you are going to talk to an education advisor. We want to do a walkthrough with you. So when you come into the trading room, I'm big on customer service. So my staff will call you, make sure you know what you're seeing in the room, where to find those videos, which one you should be watching, all that good stuff. And then we'll make an appointment a couple of days later, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So those are the things that we're going to be doing. A couple of questions. Let me see. Bill, can you try to midweek? I got surgery Monday. Bill, listen, you fit right with all the other traders. It's a lot older crowd in our trading room. But yes, if you register, you could always, if you want to start it when you get out, that's fine. Absolutely. You'll have to start immediately. So if anyone's going on a vacation or anything else, listen, just lock in that $9 now, and you can always push it off. Just click on a date and we could change it. Any other questions? A couple of people are registering here. Amand from New Mexico just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Who else we got here? Tracy, you got your registration. Welcome aboard. Al, thank you very much. I'm just seeing the orders coming in. Any other questions? Any other questions? Listen, traders, it's $9. What do you have to lose? Actually, you know what? I'm going to even do you another favor. I'll give you $9 back at the end of the week if you feel I'm wasting your time. I don't need your $9. Okay? You see that picture behind my screen over there on the right-hand side? That jersey up there, that's somebody called Michael Schumacher. I don't know if you guys know him. He's one of the most famous race car drivers. I was a big Ferrari fan. I met him several times because we used to sponsor the Ferrari team. So I met him several times. And he, obviously sad story what happened to him, but he's not dead, but he got into a bad accident. That thing right there alone is probably $20,000, $30,000. I don't need your $9. I need people that are serious. And it all starts by making a small investment. If you want to go out there and learn how to trade, you got to make an investment in yourself. No one's going to take you seriously. But I'm not asking for 9,000. I'm not asking for 90,000. I'm not asking for 900. I'm asking for $9 just to prove who you are, and then I will walk you through everything that we do, how to become a market maker. Who else we got here? Mark Bevis just got your registration from London, from England. Got your registration. A couple people from Canada. I see what just came in here. Alex, got you from Ontario. Welcome aboard. Any other questions, fellow traders? A couple of people I didn't hear from, actually. George, Joe DeSensa, I didn't hear from you. Kathleen, Linda, a couple of people here I didn't hear from. Hope you guys have been following along. All right. All right. Any last minute questions, fellow traders? Once again, take your phone, $9, do a trial. We're going to get you in our professional trading room. It's right here. You're going to see, like right now, they're looking at the stock Rumble. Rumble was a fun stock that we traded. You could see, all the traders here on the left-hand side. Here's all our instructors. You could see Debbie, me, Alex, John, Josh, Rich. All the instructors are in there. They're looking at stock right now. ARQT, is that what that is? Oh, nice little runner on that one, too. These are things that we're looking at. All right. Who else? Jack from Florida, Lando Lakes, Florida, just got your registration. Welcome aboard. Once again, fill out that questionnaire, book your appointment, and then go from there. All right, guys, listen, we'll be back. If you didn't register, I understand. Maybe it's not the right time or whatever. Maybe just sitting there browsing. Maybe you got distracted, didn't know what was going on. Maybe now you're like, oh my God, what did I miss? You want to learn how to follow the money. You want to learn how to see how orders go out there. Here's your chance, okay? But you got to learn before you can earn. So when you go out there, learn from a couple of people, and see what style they are. Don't feel terrible. I know some of you took classes with other people and you're like, I got to make this work. No, you don't. If you're doing something more than 2 to 3 months and you're not figuring it out and you're not successful at it, it's time to move on. Not that they're bad people. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them don't know what they're talking about. Some people do. Might not just be your style. But this is your style. Your style is you got to follow the orders, and that will help you understand what they're talking about. So this could also just be something of an assistance to what you're doing now. So I'll see you all in the trading room. Thanks, everybody. And like I said, if you missed this, we will record it. If you want to watch it again, you're more than happy to. So just make sure you register. We'll get it off to you. Guys, thank you so much. Last thing, make sure if you subscribe to us, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, or X. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on all the social networks. We broadcast live every morning at 9 a.m. and at 2:30. So if you just want to kind of get the feel of what we're doing and compare of our watch lists and what's going on, just subscribe to those. We're always sending out tips of the day and what makes things move and so on. So please subscribe to our channel. Just make sure you like us, ring the bell, on that. And like I said, and leave a comment. Good luck, everyone. Happy trading. And I'll see you all in the trading room.